Hello everyone, this is Dweebo, and I've got my new series here, and this series is called Should I Play, and then whatever the game is. And that game today is Xenoblade Chronicles X. And I created the series because review scores are kind of weird to me right now. I think developers and publishers, and there's great engines like Unreal and Unity out there, to the point where games usually are just well made. They're back to back very well. I mean, there's the occasional Assassin's Creed Unity mistake that was in many ways. But for the most part, developers have gotten really good at this design stage and putting out games. But now we're at a point now where that's kind of, we're at this maturing stage in gaming. But review scores aren't really helpful, I see, anymore. Sometimes I'll see a game rated like 6 or 7. Or I played the game Deadly Premonition recently, which there's a lot of, if you look at it as from like a design perspective, many people rated it 1 or 2s or 4s or whatever, but then there's people rating it 10s. So it got me thinking that the review scores are dead to me. They really are. And what I look for now is I like to read ups on Reddit or NeoGAF or places like that. Or watch people, on YouTube that are kind of talking about this game. And that's kind of what I wanted to create was after I play these games, it comes down to not, a score, but a game that maybe would get a 4 or a 5 or a 7. People will look at a 7 and go, I don't know if it's worth my time, or $60. Oh, it's 6 or whatever. And I think, there are games that do need review scores. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5. That needs to go back to the Stone Age with reviews and stuff. But for the most part, you just need to know, should I play this? Should I just let me know some quick little bullet points on this game and let me know. And that's what I had to do for this game. And, in honor of that, I just want to do it again, kind of give back and say, tell people, should you play Xenoblade Chronicles X? And first off, I want to say that if you played Xenoblade Chronicles X1, or Chronicles 1, not Chronicles X, if you played that, that's kind of maybe why you're kind of looking around, why I looked around, because this game is different. This game focuses on the exploration has been blown out of proportion. It is ginormous. This game is ginormous. It doesn't let up. You get a scale later in the game. It does take about 20-30 hours because this game is huge. There's so much you have to devote to it. Now that might turn you off. That might, turn you onto the game. And that's kind of what the series is about. It's not about me saying, this sucked. This game is so big, I want another part of it. 2, I'll give it 2 out of 10. It's not about that. It's about letting you know what this game contains. Should you play it? I'll tell what I liked, but ultimately some of the stuff I like, you might say, hey, that sounds awesome. So this game, first off, if I'm just going to give you a quick thing, quicker, I don't know how long this video is going to go, it requires a lot of time. It requires you to really, learn the system, look into the digital manual. But if you played Xenoblade Chronicles 1, I think you're going to have an easier time getting into the system. I think you're going to have to look at the digital manual to see what the heck is all these icons on the screen while I'm battling. What is this? What can, how do I control this? What is this thing? What is Moranium? What is the overworld? What are all these icons I see all over on the Wii gamepad? That's how you get on the map. What's all this? I'm not even going to go on to that. There is a lot that you'll kind of have to get picked up on, but if you played Xenoblade Chronicles, you already got a head start. They've carried over a ton of stuff from that. I think they've tweaked it and made it kind of, the more I played, I went, oh yeah, that's that thing, and I remember that, yeah, you do this here, and I kind of picked up on it. For people coming in blind that haven't played Xenoblade Chronicles, you do have a lot to step into. What I will say is that I do feel it very rewarding. I feel this game rewards you a lot. Once you put some time into it, you get the scale. It takes about 20-30 hours, that's what I'm saying. But in doing that, it felt rewarding. It felt like, whoa, I'm doing this cool thing. I'm getting this cool, they even talk about it in the story a little bit of how big of a deal it is. Like, oh, you got a scale? And another thing with the story is this game does differ in that the protagonist is silent. So if you're coming from Xenoblade Chronicles, the first one, I didn't personally like that, but as the game went on, I did see it as more of a difference and not as like kind of a negative pro whatever. I do kind of prefer the first one though, and having a main protagonist talking and all that stuff. But in doing so, you feel very connected with the world. Like, I'm in here, I'm getting these materials, I'm fighting these monsters, I'm taking on these quests. There's all these quests you can take. It takes about 300 hours if you want to 100% it. If you just want to beat it, which I did, it's about 55-ish, 65-ish hours to beat it. That's how long I took personally. And the game is just huge. It's a fun playground. There's giant trees everywhere. There's giant discs that are mysterious, these ruins and stuff. I think this game just opens up the world. It's huge, and it's a blast to run around in. That I found. If you're not into big stuff, yeah, of course you're going to want to stay away if you're not really into big, giant open worlds. Stay away. This is the hugest world. I think it's a word that I've played in recent memory. And I did beat it recently. I really enjoyed the game. I was confused, and that's why I created the series of, should I play this? Is this going to be what I thought it was? Just know, silent protagonist. It's a much bigger world than Xenoblade Chronicles. You have to devote time to this, but the game is so much fun. It loads quick. There's no frame drops. It's locked at 30 frames. The resolution is 720p, but it's locked at 30. It plays great. It's not buggy at all. It's a smooth. You can see the loading times and some of the stuff. I'm just going to leave it in, just a full gameplay thing. It loads quick. I'm jumping with the gamepad. I'm managing stuff on the gamepad. It just feels great once you devote some time into it. This is not going to be like picking up like Tetris or whatever. You devote some time, you get used to it, and you get in this world, and it becomes a full role-playing experience, which I appreciated it for. It's different than Xenoblade Chronicles. You have to know going into it in the sense of story-wise, and where its focus is at is big exploration. But the story does pick up. It does pick up later. About 4 chapters in of the 12. There's 12 total chapters in this game. But it never really hits the point to me of Xenoblade Chronicles. The ending is cool, and I actually think it's more memorable than Xenoblade Chronicles. But the original Xenoblade Chronicles ending. But I do think it has its own purpose, serves its own purpose, and I did end up enjoying it. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed. Should I play? Let me know if you want me to change some stuff up with this year. I don't know, I'm just testing out the waters because I want to let people know, should they play something? Because our time's valuable. There's so many games coming out. It's become a hilarious joke of backlogs, like Steam backlogs and all this other stuff of like, there's no way I'm going to get through this. Maybe you start to look at like, is some games even worth your time? If you're putting 60 hours into it, hey, do I like something like this? I don't know. So hope you guys have liked the footage, liked my thoughts, and I'll have more as I play more games. So thank you for checking out the channel. Jaweebo out.